Do you want to be rich? Here are some ideas for you. When you change the way you look at richness, you will acquire richness. First, let's look at different levels of richness. Rich, very rich, millionaire, multi-millionaire. In order to become very rich, you have to learn first how to become rich, and so on. A rich person is one that can satisfy his or her necessities comfortably. Most people aspire to be rich, but few can attain that goal. Is there a way for people to become rich in a short time? I'm not speaking about winning the lottery, nor patenting a revolutionary invention, nor finding a marvelous business, and much less stealing. There are simple and practical ways to have the satisfaction of feeling rich in a short time. Let's say a few months or a year, depending on the level of your indebtedness with your credit cards. Looking at richness from another perspective, who is rich? The person that has more money at the end of the month. Who is poor? The person who has more months at the end of the money. Who has more economic tranquility? An employee that earns $15,000 a year and saves $1,000, or an executive who earns $50,000 a year but has created needs of $55,000 a year. Because of the lack of a clear vision of what richness is and how to acquire it, many people constantly feel poor, and they automatically create a mental condition which limits their potential as they immerse themselves in a scarcity mentality. Getting down to business, how can a family full of debts have more money at the end of the month and be on the road to becoming rich? One way is to apply the heart attack technique. How could a heart attack to a member of a family affect its budget? Even with health insurance, they would have to reduce their expenses to a super minimum. They would stop impulse purchases. They wouldn't spend on superfluous items. They would reduce most expenses to the bare minimum. They would avoid spending on these things. They would try to reach an agreement with the bank in order to reduce their monthly loan payments. They would reduce their credit card purchases to an absolute minimum. They would modify their food expenses in order to acquire better health with less money. They would reduce their entertainment expenses. They would look for promotions and discounts for their survival needs. They would try to find alternate ways of creating more income. I have great news for you. Nobody in the family got a heart attack. Now, happily feeling healthy, you can make a rational and realistic action plan to become rich. Saving what you would spend otherwise, you will be able to pay your debts much sooner. And you will avoid the most terrible tax: interest, the tax you impose on yourself. The very high interest rates on your credit card debt and/or other even more exorbitant interest some people have forced themselves to pay. As soon as you can, invest in yourself. Better your attitude. Learn how to sell. We always have to sell something in life. Learn how to express yourself more effectively. Give more. The more you give, the more you'll receive. Love more, in the most ample and beautiful meaning of the word. I have more big news for you. You have just entered into a new paradigm. You are now on the road to become rich. Use these commandments. Save money. Pay cash. Eliminate your worst tax. Avoid interest payments. Control your budget. Look for ways to increase your monthly income. All the family should joyfully join in this endeavor, becoming rich. The whole family should make this decision. Define your time limits and apply the heart attack technique as long as it's necessary. Save and persevere. Remember, a 1,000-mile journey starts with the first step, but in order to reach your goal, you have to keep walking in the right direction. Thank the cosmos for this opportunity. Sacrifice something at the beginning of the journey in order to create permanent abundance and well-being in your life. Now you have acquired the philosophy of a rich person. No more taxing myself, having more money at the end of each month. Now you have two paths to follow. Think that these ideas won't help, and they won't. Or think that this is possible, and it will be. What's your choice? Decide to be rich. When you feel rich, you attract richness. When you feel poor, you attract scarcity. Because what you think of expands, according to the law of universal attraction. This law is explained in many of my other videos. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When you change the way you look at richness, you will attract richness. When you change the way you look at yourself, you will change. Awaken your genie. Awaken your potential.